The First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The Constitution was created to respect the common freedoms that America's forefathers wanted us to have. But is this a flawless decision? The Westboro Baptist Church. Formed in 1955 in Topeka, Kansas by Fred Phelps, this is a church that has arguably abused the shelter created by the First Amendment. The church is known for its stance against homosexuality, soldiers, Jews, and anything they can get their hands on that can be slightly considered against the so-called teachings against God.
The leaders there have certain beliefs. One of the beliefs is that America is being punished. It's being punished because of certain of its beliefs. One of its beliefs that the church members say is the tolerance for homosexuality, gay rights. The second belief that members of the church have is that God is punishing America by killing its soldiers.
The 40-something members travel all around the nation, holding hateful picket signs chanting, God hates dead soldiers, thank God for 9/11, and worse. The church believes that the whole world is going to hell because we allow sin.
Fags have taken over. They have a death grip on the whole world. And with their leader, Antichrist beast Obama, they're ushering in your doom.
Singing hateful song parodies like Hey Jews, WBC members head over to funerals of dead soldiers or murdered homosexuals and chant their beliefs at the loved ones who only want to mourn in peace. Their actions have sprung depression, fury, and hate. And, most terrifying of all, it is protected by the very same First Amendment.
We've protested more gay pride parades. We've done them in Washington, D.C., and New York City. We've done numerous gay pride parades, and we've picketed numerous times in the south side of Chicago. We've hit your streets for 20 years. We've crisscrossed this nation. We've done over 44,000 pickets. This nation does not want to hear about its sins, but the servants of God are duty-bound to tell you about your sins, and we're going to do it.
Does this reflect the American way? Morally, is this right?
The question of what the First Amendment protects has been an important and controversial issue itself. Free, wide open, robust, controversial comments would preserve the new republic. And so the nation would be sustained if people were given the maximum amount of free expression on issues of a public nature.
Albert Snyder waged a 4-year battle against WBC, attempting to silence the group. His affiliation with them? Snyder fell into depression after the WBC picketed during his son's funeral.
So the leaders of the church and a bunch of the followers came to Maryland, and they protested by holding a quiet vigil, by holding signs. They were standing on public space, and they made no disruption. They let the cars pass by. But some of the posters, signs they were holding were very hateful.
Snyder was awarded $5 million in damages from a smaller jury, but brought it up to the Supreme Court in the famous Snyder versus Phelps case.
He sued the church because he said that he suffered injury because of their protests. He had a trial. He won the trial, and he was awarded millions of dollars. But the church appealed, and they said that their protest was protected by the First Amendment. The First Appellate Court, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, agreed with them, and the Supreme Court ultimately agreed with them in a decision of 8 votes to 1. So it was a very clear-cut victory for the Westboro Church.
Not only did Snyder lose, but he also lost his $5 million in damages because Supreme Court ruled that Fred Phelps and his church are allowed to say whatever they want. Snyder now loses. He lives with the pain of a dead son, no money in damages, 4 years lost spending time trying to defeat this church, and depression. The Westboro Baptist Church has destroyed a man's life. The Westboro Baptist Church's only wall of protection is the First Amendment. The Supreme Court agrees. Westboro, in my opinion, is abusing the shelter created by the First Amendment. I see the First Amendment as an opportunity to openly express our thoughts, but Westboro uses it as an umbrella to protect them. I believe this is unfair, especially when used to mentally harm others. Is this the end of the battle?
The whole point of the First Amendment is to promote discussion, promote debate, promote controversy. So the controversy, if anything, was swirled up. The state of Maryland and about 40 other states, as well as Congress, passed laws to protect families like the Snyder family. And the questions can become when those laws themselves get challenged. So this issue is not over by any extent.
Their acts are hateful, hurtful, and discriminatory. The Constitution allows them to speak so. However, we too are allowed to speak up against them. Wherever Westboro shows up to protest, hundreds more show up to counter the WBC. This is the beauty of the First Amendment, the freedom of speech.